Welcome to Taking the Biz, a channel for A-level business students. First time watchers, consider subscribing for updates as new videos are uploaded. In this tutorial, we're going to examine the topic of absenteeism, how it's calculated, why it's problematic for businesses, and how we might go about reducing rates of absenteeism too. So absenteeism is simply a measure of the number of workers in the organisation that are taking time off work. When we measure the number of employees that might be absent on a particular day, divide that figure by the total number of employees in the organisation and times it by 100, it allows the business to examine the percentage of their workforce that are absent on a particular day. And businesses are going to be keen to track this figure over time to see whether it's increasing inside the organisation, but also potentially to see whether it's higher than other organisations in the same industry. Because when absentee rates are high, it indicates that the business might be experiencing problems with its human resource function. And a high rate of absenteeism can present some problems for an organisation. Firstly, it can present cost problems for the business because staff that haven't reported for work will still be paid sick pay. So the organisation is paying workers at a time when it's getting no productivity from them. So this obviously damages the efficient working of the organisation and increases labour costs. Labour costs might also be increased because we might have to pay workers who have reported for their duties overtime to cover the work that absent colleagues would have produced, and overtime is often paid at a higher rate than regular work might be. The firm, if absenteeism is a prolonged problem, may even need to hire temporary staff through a temp agency that will come into the organisation and cover for workers that are absent, but obviously this will be an additional cost incurred by the business. And it raises the issue as to whether the quality that temporary workers might produce is going to be as high as our own trained workforce that haven't reported for work. So that could be the quality of production if we're in a manufacturing business, or it could be the quality of customer service in tertiary sector organisations. So absenteeism is clearly problematic. It can increase the costs of the firm, but can also increase the quality of what the firm produces, which will obviously have a knock-on effect on consumers. So businesses might be keen to try and reduce their rates of absenteeism. And one way to do that might be to investigate whether there are any health and safety concerns in the organisation that might be causing workers to take time off, whether the environment of the organisation is causing illness or injury of staff that could be prevented if we improve the health and safety of our organisation, or maybe we put more support in place for our workers in the organisation so that they can report concerns before they lead to a situation where that worker feels they need to take time off. Now, absenteeism might also be linked to motivational issues in our organisation. Staff might be taking time off because they're not motivated or inspired to work for this organisation. So if we can tackle the root cause of poor motivation inside the business, it may lead to rates of absenteeism actually declining. A simple way we might be able to promote greater rates of absenteeism might actually be to reward good attendance. So any scheme inside the organisation that recognises good attendance and rewards good attendance in some way might also help keep rates of absenteeism a little lower in the organisation. Final tactic we might use to tackle absenteeism is a little bit more drastic. Obviously, the people who are taking time off in the organisation are human labourers. Now, we could get around that by possibly looking at greater ways we could introduce mechanisation into our business. If we could replace human workers with machinery, obviously that negates the issue of absenteeism. So it might require upfront investment in machinery, but obviously that will help tackle the rates of absenteeism further down the line. So that's the topic of absenteeism. Important to know the problems that it causes organisations and how they might tackle it. Hopefully that tutorial will help you. We'll see you soon for some more revision. Keep on taking the biz.